Hello, everybody, and welcome to the summer 2021 InterGens Culminating performance. It's so great to see you all. I'm so excited. We are in YouTube Live, or perhaps you're watching on the Goodman website, which means that the way that we can interact with the performance, that you can shout out what you love in lieu of applauding, is to drop it in the chat right over here. And shout out how excited you are to be here. So let's practice. If you could drop some applause, shout out for the person who you're here to see in the chat, maybe throw an emoji in there, show some love for our incredible ensemble. And speaking of our incredible ensemble, we're going to get started in about 5 minutes. But first, we want to tell you a little bit about who we are and what InterGens is. So I'm Liam. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the Education and Engagement Assistant at the Goodman. And I'll pass it over to my co-teaching artist, Deb Lewis.
I'm Deb Lewis, and my pronouns are anything except it. I have the wonderful gift of being a teaching artist at the Goodman. I teach for Generations, InterGens, and sometimes for the Cindy Bandel Young Critics program. And as far as InterGens, what is InterGens? It's a free 6 to 8 week program which brings high school students, recent graduates, working artists, and lifelong learners together to create original ensemble-driven work that considers the perspective of all ages. It's been around for about 10 years and was first envisioned by the Walter Director of Education, Willa Taylor, as a way to bring together participants in our Generations programs and students in our youth summer programs, such as Play Build and the Music Theater Intensive. And this was because a lot of the conversations in those programs turned out to dovetail and overlap. Conversations about being overlooked, about having a lot of creative energy and figuring out where to point it. Conversations about politics, our lives. It expands from there, as you can imagine. Too often, I think we separate out by age who gets to have those conversations with each other, and InterGens is all about changing that. This session, we're excited to work with this wonderful ensemble who've done some truly generous work.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for you to see it. We say all the time at the Goodman that it's not about the product, it's about the process. And the process with this ensemble has been absolutely incredible. That said, we have a really, really great product for you today. So I'm excited for you to see that as well. There are going to be 10 scenes. All of them are original. All of them were written collaboratively by this entire ensemble across generations, across ages. The show runs about 45 minutes, and at the end, we'll send you off and you can go enjoy your evenings, and then we'll hang out in the Zoom and ritual out and say goodbye to each other. If you want to learn more about Goodman's education programming, please head to goodmantheater.org/education. We are continuing virtual programming in the fall and would love for you to join us. But that's enough from us because you didn't come here to listen to us talk. So we are going to get the show started in just a minute. Please enjoy the Summer 2021 InterGens Ensemble.
Something for me to investigate today. It'll be great.
I open a door. And I am hugging my mom. The warmth in my hug from my mom fills my heart. I am pleased with life.
I open the door and I see the kids playing with each other. Some are kicking the soccer ball back and forth. Others race from one line on the sidewalk to another predetermined finish line. An improvisational game of tag begins by one little girl tapping another's shoulder saying, "Tag, you're it."
I opened a door and the sun spit in my eye. I was blinded for a minute, but feel okay with the knowledge the day would be real good.
I open the door and I slam the door of the closet behind me. The fluffy precipitation around me engulfs my entire being, and I see a rainbow in the distance. I am floating.
It's Mr. On there. Audio.
Open the door to the beach and hear the rustling of the seagrass stirred by the wind. The sunshine of children's laughter bounces off the sparkling waves. A green flag day, and everyone is swimming. An infinite universe of health and happiness.
I opened the door and I realized I was stepping into a new world full of new and abundant opportunities like I've never seen before. There's one thing I've learned within this past year is then to be the best I can be at everything that I do, no matter what.
I open the door and I sneak into the back of the classroom. Oh God, I hope she doesn't notice that I'm running late.
She opened the door, not really seeing the mess I clumsily hid. Small bits of glass are hidden between the pages of the new Harry Potter book I've yet to read. The blood has been covered by my ever-present long sleeves, and my smile masks the well of pain I feel so deep inside that I've truly yet to understand its depths. My mother walks over, sits down next to me, and apologizes for our recent screaming match. But I know it is not her fault. It is always mine.
I opened the door and there was a flood of sunshine glazing on my eyes. And a bubbly, happy girl, the energetic me who's excited for life, who has purpose to change the world, who is excited to tell stories of others.
Watch this move.
Whoa, that's tough. Now, the real way to celebrate the grand opening of the moon is with the moonwalk.
Man, that's old school.
I mean, there's no school like the old school. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Man, you have to come, man. The grand opening will be no fun without you, Mr. Fun Guy.
Will Mia be there?
I mean, it's long enough to get her out of Willow Tree, long enough for her to have fun.
I mean, she is a weird one, so you know how that goes.
Anybody who spend that much time reading belongs on the moon. I mean, she's taking over your head.
I haven't talked to my mother about this yet. You know how she feels about space travel.
No worries. I'll get my old man for it. His name is known to open doors.
Now you know that I know going off world requires permission. I'm not 18 yet, and you once again know how she feels about space travel. She's crazy.
My father can give her anything she wants. She's a struggling single mother. His funds can help her organic mushroom farm lifestyle.
How do you know?
Man, it's all over Facebook.
All right. Let's go. First off, where do I get fitted for that spacesuit? I seriously want to do the moonwalk on the moon. But you still don't know my mom. She's kind of crazy, but we'll see. See you later.
No fear, I got a plan for that.
This tea is delicious, Dr. Jayford.
It's chaga mushroom tea. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's full of antioxidants and a great boost for your immune system.
In the spirit of such altruism, I hope you like your new pink flamingo. I hope you don't mind, but I put it in your yard.
Ooh, it's beautiful. Thank you. I love pink flamingos.
Do you know that they change colors based on what they eat?
Really? Well, they're much like people. You become what you eat. To paraphrase the great poet, he was vegan and an anarchist, Percy Bysshe Shelley. How can we be truly peaceful when violence lurks in our vitals?
So you say, but I will not give up my meat.
It's not natural for humans to eat meat. We're not designed for meat. It is just the generations of our meat-eating culture have calcified the idea. It is time for change. Change begins at home with one's plate. Never doubt that the actions of one person can impact the world. To be truly peaceful, one must begin with oneself and what one eats. Plus, animal farming is one of the greatest threats to our ecosystem, and it contributes to global warming. Did you know that the feces from pig farms in the ocean can be seen from space? Did you know that people who fall into lagoons containing the feces of pigs have been known to die within minutes? This must change.
To quote the Beatles, yeah. As the person to earn the rights to sell real estate on the moon, I have concerns that are not part of this world.
So I see.
Dr. Jayford, are we agreed? I will fund your organic farm and Leander gets to go with us off-world. Just say yes, Dr. Jayford.
Well, that sounds,
Farm. I have it with me, and with a flick of your finger, and he can be making history. Think of your son going down in history. Something you will never have a chance to do.
Excuse me?
Your son has your permission to go off-world?
No, I will never allow my son to go off-world. He belongs here with both feet firmly planted on the ground.
History will be made at the grand opening of the moon. Don't let him miss out on being a part of the historic event. Plus, my son wants him to come. He's his best friend.
No, I will never change my mind.
Anything is possible, my dear. Anything can be had for a price.
You underestimate me.
Well, I'll give you more then. No, dear, it is you who underestimates me.
Goodbye, Mr. Favo. Stay safe.
Staying safe is the least of my concerns. If I were concerned about staying safe, I wouldn't be the first to have scored real estate on the moon. I am a risk taker. Beware.
Bye, Mr. Favo.
Goodbye, Leander.
See you soon. Mom, what's up?
Hey, Leander, my little sweetheart, how was your day?
Whoa, Mom, you wouldn't believe what day I had with Kanye today. We were talking about the first off-world party on the moon. It's going to be historic. He also said that I could do this. I can do the moonwalk on the moon, and it goes somewhere like this.
How cool.
What is my genius mother up to today?
Well, I've been working on design for my organic mushroom farm, and I'm also preparing dinner.
What's for dinner? Mushrooms again?
You look, mushrooms are our ticket to a new life. I'm experimenting with the many ways that mushrooms may be cooked. I've only just begun exploring the world of fungi. I will sell them, and it'll change the face of vegetarianism forever. Less meat. Mycology means a better world for all of us.
Yeah, Mom, I know, but was Mr. Favor here to help you, or why did he leave?
No, he has other worldly concerns. He is not firmly rooted. I sent him on his way. Bye-bye, Mr. Fabo.
What?
You are not going to the grand opening of the moon.
Really? Mom, really? Really?
Really? If anything happened to you, I don't know what I do, or the spacecraft, or I never
Mom, this
forget
isn't
myself.
living. It's not living. Being stuck on this hellhole of a planet for all of time, not able to go anywhere, living off fungus. Did you know I have become to be known as Mr. Fungi? Come on, Kanye said. Kanye said,
is a good friend. He's a good friend, and I'm grateful you were able to see him, but there is no way that I'm going to let you go to the moon. You're not going to leave the planet.
Never, ever let me have fun, Mom. Like, it's ridiculous. I never get to do anything. You are a buzzkill. What did you do? What did you do?
I was slicing mushrooms in the kitchen when I heard a knock at the door. I opened the door, and there was my grandchild with their hands full of acorns. They handed them to me. They were dark brown, beige, walnut, ebony. I marveled that such a treasure trove should come from my little garden, the whole spectrum of humanity. And they said, they all came from the same tree. I looked out into my yard and I saw my pink flamingo. It winked at me. I rubbed my eyes. I looked again. It leaned forward and it swallowed a daffodil and turned bright neon yellow. I looked again, and it reached forward and swallowed a coneflower and changed. I looked up on the roof, and there was a man, my sweetheart, standing there angrily. Admit what you did. I didn't do anything. Admit what you did or I'll jump. But I didn't do anything. He jumped and he landed on top of the flamingo and it flew off as he was singing.
Why don't you fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars?
Hey, Joshua, what are you reading?
Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath.
Dying is an art like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling.
You know the poem.
Yeah, I first read it 50 years ago as a teenager.
I mean, I just found it. I was looking for a poem for a theater program I'm in, and I just like relate so much with what Sylvia Plath saying about Lady Lazarus. Like, I have done it again, 1 year in every 10. I manage it. But then there's this one piece I don't really understand. It says, a sort of walking miracle, my skin bright as a Nazi lampshade.
Well, Joshua, lampshade is what the Nazis made out of Jewish skin. At least that's the myth. My mother was in Berlin, Germany in 1934 after Hitler had been in power for a year, and she saw book burnings and had to sit in the back of class because she was Jewish. So Plath is not a Jew, but she empathizes with Jew and death in the poetry of life. I think.
I just know for myself, it's important for me right now because, you know, like I do a lot of theater and everything, and just being able to perform for like an audience and giving them a sense of fresh openings, because at her third attempt for taking her life in an actual poem, she explored her new self. And I just know, like, exploring your new self after being at home for God knows how long, after like a quarantine and everything, it really gets me going. And I start to hyperventilate. And sometimes I just have to breathe because my psychiatrist says, Joshua, get it together. And it's just, I then take a deep breath and I stay calm and I breathe. My right foot, a paperweight. My face, a featureless fine, jewel linen, peel off the napkin, hold my enemy. Do I terrify? And I, a smiling woman. I am only 30, and like a cat, I have 9 times to die. Hear God, hear Lucifer. Out of the ash, I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air.
I think that will be a great performance.
If you plant, you harvest. It's going to be okay. You may feel at your low, at your weakest. Can't even think. I'm so hurt. I hate myself. Every word I've said, every mistake I made. I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate myself. Self-love. What is love? Healing, nurturing, forgiving, learning to bloom, learning to grow. It's going to be okay. You're exactly supposed to be where you are. Shed your skin. Feel the sun. Let it go. Let yourself be free. Your time here is important. Use it wisely. Self-love. The more you give yourself love, the more the universe will be good to you. If you plant, you harvest.
I dream that one day race wouldn't be an issue. All I want is my people to feel safe in America.
I dream that one day future generations may go to school feeling safe. Give them a place to be able to escape.
I dream that one day I can go home by myself at night.
I dream of a world where fierce disruptors of inequity are successful and we live together with all crew members of our cherished spaceship Earth in harmony.
At times, I feel like people are scared to get to know me based on the color of my skin. Security guards will follow me in grocery stores. I don't feel safe in the streets because I feel like my life is in jeopardy. I don't like police nowadays because what they've done to people who look like me. I hope people who don't look like me educate themselves to understand that race still exists.
I dream that one day we won't have to fight for what is right, our human rights, for one day to feel comfortable even at night.
Maybe a jog or a walk from a late night convenience run.
I dream of resilient, brilliant generations here and now, inspired to create a world where humanity recognizes each of us as part of nature, as it is part of us. We will live in a healthy, wholesome world, not filled with violence, cruelty, or vaccine passports, but with empathy, compassion, and peace for the highest good of all concerned.
Having a world full of happiness and joy make me feel safe. But till then, I still worry I should go outside and make it home not to be safe.
I dream that one day we won't hate upon others' beliefs, no matter what they might be.
I can go home and take a deep breath and sleep peacefully in my bed.
I dream of waking to kindness.
I dream, but today I'll just have to pray that all this will go away.
Amen. Bastard.
On Swiss details crucial role gold played in sustaining Nazis. In a highly anticipated report on the fate of Nazi gold, US government historians have concluded that much of the looted wealth was routed through Switzerland to pay other neutral nations for vital supplies that sustained Hitler's army in the last years of World War II. The report to be issued Tuesday also doubles the American estimate of how much gold was in a Nazi account that received deposits of wedding rings, tooth fillings, and other personal possessions of Holocaust victims. Newsflash, Chicago Democrat, January 21st, 1834. The State House at Milledgeville, Georgia was recently near being destroyed by fire. It was saved by the great and hazardous exertions of a slave. Immediately after the fire, his liberty was offered to him, but he refused to accept it. The governor has recommended to the legislature to vote some handsome and acceptable present. The man was in the property of Mr. Malfour. Newsflash, Chicago Tribune, August 17th, 1921. Lake Zurich. 12,000 Chicagoans made an eerie pilgrimage to a mysterious rendezvous 6 miles south of Lake Zurich to attend the incidental naturalization of 2,000 new members of the Order of the Ku Klux Klan. There, standing blindfolded in a downpour of rain, surrounded by a huge blazing cross, the initiates kissed the American flag, swore to protect the weak and defenseless, pledged themselves to uphold American institutions and support the commands of the Ku Klux. As they came mysteriously, secretly, they left, and the meadow rendezvous was left with its dying fire and smoldering embers. The Klan's object was, quote, the perpetuation of law, order, peace, and justice, end quote.
All right. Well, I have to open up to you about how this city, it's so crazy, and I don't even understand how people drive around here. Do you know what I mean, Mac?
Actually, I don't. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean because I don't actually have my license. I'm 23, and there's no shame that I don't have my license. But I don't have my license. I've always had motor skills that aren't similar to everyone else around me. So it took me a while to actually tie my shoes. When I was in third grade, it took me a while. And I finally learned how to tie my shoes when I was in third grade. And then I actually don't know how to ride a bike either. So there is that. And I've actually currently got my permit right now. So
And you've been driving?
Yes, I've been driving. And
That's amazing. You know what? I'm going to tell my son about that because he's 20 and he doesn't know how to drive at all. And we've had a conversation about that. But you're learning to drive in this city that's incredible to me because this city really intimidates me in a lot of ways. I've been here since 2016 and that's almost 5 years. And I feel very small. I feel very insignificant and in some ways. And then in other ways, when I put on my clothes that I would normally have worn, like down in New Orleans, just to strut my stuff, I just stick out like a sore thumb and I get the weirdest comments made to me.
Tell me more about your experience in New Orleans.
Well, New Orleans was just hardcore and extreme. And it was easy to be there in a way because I could float around. Nobody would really notice unless I wanted to be noticed. But otherwise, there wasn't really anything that I could be up to that was, I don't know, that could be questioned because there's a certain freedom down there where you could have the naked bike ride in the corridor. I didn't myself, but other people did. Or you have the quote unquote running of the bulls down the street from where I lived, and people are on roller skates with big bats and they smack each other. And so in a way that sounds crazier than Chicago. So I'm confused by myself because I don't, why is it that I feel more comfortable in that crazy but not this crazy? So that's just something that I've been thinking about and I wanted to talk to you about.
They do say home is where the heart's at.
Yes. And my heart is at the Always Lounge and Theater in New Orleans. Thank you very much.
Everyone tells me I'm a survivor, but I don't feel like I'm surviving at all. Every day I wake up and I trudge through the trauma that has tainted my life, sinking further and further into the dark depths of the past, only to take small steps into the hopeful light of the next day. There's no consistency in surviving. There's no consistency in my life since surviving you. I sit on the floor of the shower, suffocating in its heat, trying my hardest to burn away the memory of you. The water is the antidote to the poison that you've injected into my body and into my mind, and yet it is still not enough. It is my job to survive. You gave me your sins, and it is my job to cleanse us of them. Even if I do survive, then what? Is there more to life than just surviving? Because there are times where the future is so clouded that I can't even see this moment. Tentatively, I step out of the shower and into the steam-filled room. As I roam my body, I take note of the physical scars you've imprinted on my skin and rummage through my mind for the emotional scars that you've left behind. Traveling from mark to mark, I ask each impression for forgiveness, for love, for compassion, and I can finally face myself. My dark brown eyes ask for mercy, and I tell them, I love you, and I continue to survive.
Nine-year-old me was somebody I have to reflect on, because 9-year-old me was closed-minded and ignorant and a very hypocritical person. But 9-year-old me was also confused and scared and wasn't aware of what was going on. 9-year-old me definitely had to go through a lot in order to understand their place in the world, and their place with herself.
I'm so proud of you for being able to reflect on your past. Not many people do that, especially adults, which I think they should, but you know, that's very powerful to like do that. Well, if we're being open to each other, I need to confess something to you, but only you. When I was in a friendship with a good friend of mine, or he was a good friend, he did something to me that wasn't right, but I forgave him for it. Like, compared to like most ordinary people who would just report him and he would be on a list for the rest of his life, I forgave him because he's my friend, or at least I thought he was, and that's what friends are supposed to do. Anywho, I forgave him, and things have changed again, you know? Like, they got good and now they're bad. They're bad. And it takes me back because it's just like my family, they love him so much, you know, and they know that he's my friend. They just love him so much. But at the same time, it's just like he doesn't want to thrive for himself. And is it so bad to say that I don't want to be around people who don't want to help themselves? Like, even after everything that I've done for him, and I'm not the type of person to like keep tallies of people, you know, but like, shit, man. Yeah, I'm just tired.
I think it's very good for yourself if you take some time for yourself. It's definitely not healthy to just give in every relationship that you have. And as for your friend, I definitely think if you gave him some time on his own, he needs to figure stuff out on his own rather than you figuring it out for him. So I definitely think that was a good decision that you took a step away from him.
Oh, you know, really proud of you for reflecting on yourself and also realizing that, you know, 9-year-old you was not the best person, but girl, do I like you. You're amazing. I'm so happy that, you know, I can consider you a friend at least, you know. I got you.
Thank you.
room, isolated in my own dome, questioning my left and my right, stuck in the dark, seeking light, sick of the yik-yak, no one's got my back. Volume of echoes raised, but it's not time to hesitate. Gotta get out right now. Get out to the birds and the bees and the streets and the sheets. Get out right now. Get out in the sunshine and you'll be fine. Get out before you run out of time. Get out to the tundra, to the tundra, tundra. Get out to the tundra, to the tundra, tundra. Feelings of doubt loom, sucking my spirit up like a vacuum. It's not as concrete as black or white, not as easy as fight or flight. Sick of the yik-yak, no one's got my back. The volume of echoes raise, but it's not time to hesitate. Gotta get out right now. Get out to the birds and the bees and the streets and the sheets. Get out right now. Get out in the sunshine and you'll be fine. Get out before you run out of time. Get out to the rainbow, sick of all the low blows. Stop thinking you're stepping on everybody's toes. Frozen in the time that you think that you were known. So gotta get out right now. Get out to the birds and the bees and the streets and the shades. Get out right now. Get out in the sunshine and you'll be fine. Get out before you run out of time. Get out to the tundra, to the tundra, tundra. Get out to the tundra, to the tundra, tundra. Get out to the tundra, to the tundra, tundra. Get out to the tundra, to the tundra, tundra.
Amazing work! Congratulations! Let's give everybody a round of applause. I'm going to turn gallery view on so they can all see you. Fantastic. That concludes the culminating performance of the Summer 2021 InterGens Ensemble. We didn't practice this, but I do want to introduce the ensemble to you. So at the top of every single session that we have together, we introduce ourselves to the room with our name and our pronouns, and one question. So I am going to go ahead and call on folks. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, your name, your pronouns, and then let's just do one word that you'd like to offer the ensemble. So is there anybody who would like to start? Kyle, go ahead, and I'll call on each person, so you don't need to pass it.
What's up, y'all? My name is Kyle. My pronouns are he, him, his. And one word, Word. Let's go with family.
All right, Joshua, you're next.
Hello, people of the world. I'm Joshua Thomas. I go by the pronouns he, him, his. And if I had to use one word, it will be cultivating. I really enjoyed you all.
All right, next up we have Monica and co.
Monica, she, her, hers. This is Nina, she, her, hers, as far as we know for now. One word, debut.
Amazing. All right, Jim, you're next.
Jim Williamson, he, his, him. Patience.
Thank you. Danica.
Danica, she, her, hers, and inspiration.
Daniel.
Daniel, he, him, his, and I think finale.
Brittany.
Brittany, she, hers, and I will say wholesome.
Kathleen.
Kathleen, she, her, hers, and I will say grit.
Mac.
Ooh.
Good work.
Mac, he, him, his, and I'm not trying not to cry. Hope.
Thank you, Mac. You can cry if you want. It's okay. Anna.
Anna, she, her, hers, and love, lots of love.
Deb.
Deb Lewis and anything except it. And heart altar. You're all on it.
Then Liam, he, him, and I'm going to share the word safe. I felt very safe with all of you, and I hope that you all felt safe in this space as well. I would love for everyone who is watching today to join us in the fall for our next session of InterGens and create work like this. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting all of these students and all of these incredible artists. And thank you to the incredible sponsors who allow us to offer this programming completely free for our entire history of education programming at the Goodman and into the future. So we're all gonna say goodbye to each other, but thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe out there.
Thanks a lot, Liam and Deb.
Thank you.